Bangkok isn't just a city. It's a living, breathing organism, pulsing with hot winds from the Chao Phraya River and glowing with thousands of lights like electric currents under the skin. The scent of sandalwood from the temples mixes with the smoky aroma of street noodles and the spicy heat of curry. Prayers, the roar of tuk-tuks, the clatter of plates, and laughter echoing through alleyways all blend into a melody you can't quite decipher, but you can feel it. This isn't a dot on the map. It's a whirlwind that pulls you in and refuses to let go. The city keeps moving even when you stand still, trying to figure out if you've slipped into the past, the future, or something entirely different. In 2025, Bangkok was crowned the food capital of the world. But it's not just about the food. New parks, rooftop gardens, and leafy streets have made the air feel lighter, the pace gentler. And yet Bangkok is still Bangkok. It won't slow down for you. It flows forward, and the only question is, can you keep up? Welcome to chaos turned into art. A city where you can't just be a spectator. Every step here is a leap into a river that carries you somewhere warm, loud, and impossibly beautiful. Chao Phraya Sky Park and Green Bangkok 2030. Where rusty old train tracks once stood, there's now a park in the sky. Imagine walking along lush green pathways with the majestic Chao Phraya River flowing beneath you. The breeze feels cooler, the air fresher, and for a moment it seems like the whole city is breathing differently, deeper, calmer. This is Thailand's first park built on a bridge, and it's become a symbol of a new era for Bangkok. The Green Bangkok 2030 program is transforming the city before your eyes. Tree-lined streets, rooftop gardens, and bursts of greenery are sprouting across the concrete jungle like after a tropical rain. Bangkok is creating shade where there was once only scorching asphalt, and even at midday, the air feels softer. In these places, the city isn't just beautiful. It feels like it cares for the people who live and breathe here. Hemisphere and the new urban hubs. In 2024 and 2025, next-generation spaces reshaped the city. Hemisphere and One Bangkok aren't just shopping malls. They're entire worlds under one roof, where art, technology, and gastronomy collide. On one floor, you might stumble across an NFT art exhibition. On another, a fine dining restaurant with sunset views over the skyline. Downstairs, live performances and cooking workshops pull in crowds. These aren't places you visit just to shop. They're places to feel, explore, and step straight into the future. A culinary explosion. In 2025, Bangkok made global headlines as the world's new food capital. 6 of its restaurants landed on the world's 50 best list. Potong ranked 13th, while the legendary Gagan was once again crowned the best in Asia. But it's not just about rankings. Here, dinner becomes a performance for all the senses. Flavors flow one into the next like scenes in a play. Sour, sweet, fiery, and suddenly you realize food in Bangkok isn't just food, it's a story told through spices, textures, and aromas. Art beyond galleries. The Bangkok Art and Culture Center brings exhibitions and festivals to life downtown, but the real magic spills out onto the streets. In neighborhoods like Thonburi and Ekamai, old warehouses have turned into giant canvases for street artists. Building facades bloom with graffiti, and installations pop up on sidewalks like flashes of inspiration. Here, art lives outside the frame, with no schedules or rules. You'll be walking and suddenly come across a piece that stops you in your tracks and makes you smile. Monsoons as a ritual. When the sky darkens and rain pours down, the city doesn't pause. Tourists rush under umbrellas, but locals take it slow, waiting out the storm in cafes with a cup of tea and a bowl of noodles. The rain washes away dust and heat, filling the air with the scent of coffee, lime, and wet grass. It's more than just weather. It's a ritual that leaves Bangkok cleaner, fresher, and even more alive. By river and rail. Bangkok has two faces. One is the BTS SkyTrain, gliding above the streets between glass towers and glowing city lights. The other is the boats on the Chao Phraya, passing wooden stilt houses where life flows at the same pace it did 100 years ago. You can switch from train to boat and, in an hour, see two Bangkoks in one. The modern metropolis and the old city, where time seems to move differently. Here, a single day feels like it splits in two, before and after the sun sets. Myth: Bangkok is just for tourists and YouTube feeds. Reality: step away from the noisy Khao San Road and the city reveals another face. At dawn, workers slurp noodles by steaming street carts, school kids in crisp white uniforms dash for buses, and artists turn old warehouses into open-air galleries. Here, there's less gold and neon, but more of the city's raw, breathing soul. Bangkok stops feeling like a backdrop and becomes something tender, vivid, and real. Myth: all food here is cheap and delicious. Reality: street food is still the heart of Bangkok. For 50 baht, you can have a bowl of noodles that will make your whole day. But beyond the wok smoke and lime-scented air lies another world. Tiny family-run restaurants serving recipes passed down from grandmother to grandson. And a dinner at Potong or Gagan, that could cost as much as a week in a hotel. Here, food stops being just food and turns into art. Myth: the canals are just a tourist prop. Reality: life still flows on the klongs. In the mornings, boats become floating markets, selling mangoes, noodles, and orchids. This isn't a show for visitors. It's the rhythm of old Bangkok. Herons squawk, monitor lizards laze on the banks, and grandmothers in wooden boats sell noodles just like they did decades ago. Myth: Bangkok's nightlife is only bars for foreigners. Reality: these days, the pulse of the night has shifted to jazz clubs, concept bars, and rooftop cinemas where movies play under the stars. And just beyond the clubs, night markets are buzzing. Fresh tom yum simmering, handmade jewelry glinting under string lights, and laughter filling the air. Bangkok at night isn't just alcohol and loud music. It's warmth, lights, and air that feels somehow softer. Myth: Bangkok is pure chaos with no rules. Reality: chaos here follows its own logic. Among motorbikes and crowds, there are dedicated lanes, green oases, and strict fines for littering. Even in the frenzy, there's a rhythm and order. If you listen closely, it feels like the heartbeat of the city. Myth: there's no air here. The city is choking in smog. Reality: since the launch of Green Bangkok 2030, the city feels transformed. Parks, green rooftops, and tree-lined avenues now dot the landscape. Even in the dense city center, you can find quiet pockets of shade and breathe deeply. Myth: Bangkok isn't safe, especially at night. Reality: locals like to joke, a tourist is protected by karma. Crime is low, police patrol the streets, and CCTV cameras are everywhere. The bigger danger: forgetting to drink water or getting sunburned in the tropical heat. Smoking and vaping. Bangkok takes this seriously. Smoking is banned in parks, at bus stops, and even on beaches. Fines can reach 2,000 baht, and e-cigarettes, completely illegal. Get caught vaping, and you could lose your device or even face deportation. Tourists with vapes have made front-page news more than once. Imagine how much stress a single puff could cost you. Alcohol. Drinking on the street is allowed, but only if your bottle is hidden in a bag. This rule has become a quirky style. Beer, wrapped in brown paper, has turned into an unofficial symbol of Bangkok's nightlife. At first, it feels funny. Then you realize everyone's doing it. Soon enough, you're slipping your own can into a bag like it's part of the city's etiquette. Shoes, temples, homes, and even some cafes, barefoot only. Outside the door, you'll see neat rows of colorful sandals. Tourists are often confused at first, but by day 3, you'll find yourself kicking off your shoes without a second thought. It's a small ritual, leaving the dust of the streets at the threshold. Silence on public transport. On the metro, the quiet is almost sacred. Talking on the phone or playing music without headphones, total taboo. If you forget, an older Thai commuter might gently say, "Shh," while others give you a polite but firm look. Here, respecting personal space is an unspoken rule, even during rush hour. Tipping. Tipping isn't expected. Try to leave a tip, and your server might return the bill with a smile and a slight bow. Service charges are already included, and kindness is simply part of the culture. Littering. Dropping a piece of trash on the street, almost unthinkable. You could get fined or even scolded by a passerby. Cleanliness here isn't just about laws. It's part of the city's DNA. Bangkok feels spotless, not because of an army of cleaners, but because people respect the space they share. Animals. Feeding street monkeys or pigeons is forbidden. After a few incidents, the city introduced fines to discourage it. It's helped keep the balance. Animals stay wild, and the streets stay calm. Traffic, scooters and bikes on sidewalks, banned. And at busy intersections, you might spot the city's famous dancing traffic police. They direct the chaos with smooth, rhythmic gestures, turning gridlock into a kind of street performance. Watching them, you realize even Bangkok's traffic has its own style. Everything's close by. Reality. On the map, Bangkok looks compact, but that's an illusion. The city stretches over 1,500 square kilometers like a giant puzzle. On foot, you'll barely cover one neighborhood. Without the metro, motorbike taxis, or riverboats, Bangkok breaks into isolated islands. The golden rule here? Plan your route ahead of time, or risk spending your day stuck in traffic and heat. I'll bump into celebrities. Reality? Thai stars don't stroll down Sukhumvit or grab lunch on the noisy Khao San Road. Their world is private parties and exclusive clubs. The real discoveries happen in underground bars and artsy cafes, where musicians play their first sets and artists hang their first exhibitions. Here, tomorrow's stars are sipping tea at the next table, arguing about jazz. Street food isn't safe. Reality? It's the opposite. Street food is the heartbeat of Bangkok. A fried banana from a cart or a fresh pad Thai will bring more joy and flavor than a sterile burger from a chain cafe. Here, food is cooked right before your eyes, and the scents of lime, chili, and garlic guide you like a breadcrumb trail. One tip: follow the lines. If locals are waiting, it's going to be good. Wi-Fi is everywhere. Reality. Yes, there's Wi-Fi in cafes and on the metro. But in narrow alleys, the signal often vanishes, especially during a sudden downpour when the whole city pauses under the rain. Without an ESIM or offline maps, you could get lost in the maze of streets. Download maps ahead of time and wander worry-free, even without the internet. Shorts are fine anywhere. Reality. Temples have strict dress codes. Shoulders and knees must be covered. Break the rules, and a guard will gently hand you a shawl or politely deny you entry. Here, clothing isn't just about comfort. It's a sign of respect. Taxis will save me every time. Reality. At rush hour, taxis turn into time capsules. You'll sit and watch the city swirl around you while the car doesn't move an inch. The real heroes, the metro, motorbike taxis, and canal boats, they weave through the chaos and give you a few unexpected thrills along the way. Everyone speaks English. Reality, in tourist zones, yes, you'll get by. But step into a residential neighborhood, and it's down to gestures, facial expressions, and smiles. Bangkok stops speaking and starts showing, and you'll learn to understand the city without words. Chao Phraya Sky Park at sunrise, a park suspended on a bridge where the city finally pauses. Below you, the river catches the first glimmers of sunlight, and the warm air feels just a little cooler. Here, the noise of the metropolis fades away, leaving only the wind, the soft scent of grass, and the sensation of floating between sky and water. Wat Road in Chinatown, a street where food becomes pure theatre. Woks sizzle, flames flare under pots, and the aromas of spices guide you through pools of streetlight. Every step feels like a new act in a play, with chefs as the stars. You'll want to stop at every cart, tasting a little bit of everything. And here, the 13th Jazz Club, an intimate space where music flows like warm tea. The saxophone melts into the air, leaving a faint echo in your memory. There's no gloss or glamour here, just the soft glow of lamps and melodies that quiet even the busiest of days. Hemisphere, a cultural hub of the future. Exhibitions, panoramic views, and gastronomy blend into a seamless experience. From the upper floors, the city glimmers like an endless ocean of light. Looking down, you realize Bangkok is both strikingly modern and endlessly curious. A canal boat ride. This is a different Bangkok. Here it's quiet. Stilt houses creak in the wind, and the water carries a rhythm of life that hasn't changed in 100 years. You glide past old temples and floating markets where time seems to stretch out. Bangkok Art and Culture Center, BACC, a place where the past meets contemporary art. Media installations and exhibitions spill outside, with street artists painting right on the sidewalks nearby. This is Bangkok unafraid to experiment and surprise you. Benjakiti Forest Park, a green oasis in the heart of the city. Skyscrapers reflect in still lakes, and for the first time all day, Bangkok seems to take a deep breath. Here you can stroll along winding paths, gaze at blooming lotuses, and listen as the city fades softly into the background. Bangkok doesn't wait for you. It lives. Changing facades, simmering street soups, praying in temples, and dancing in bars. If you stop and listen, you'll hear the breath of millennia and the pulse of the future, intertwined. You'll leave with the scent of pad thai on your fingers, raindrops in your hair, and a quiet thought. This city won't remember me, but I'll remember it forever. Now all that's left is to quietly watch Bangkok and listen to it breathe.